Hey guys, welcome to the Gods Unchained beta with the Professor. All right, it's time for our Monday Mythic meta for the ranked weekend event that ran on November 5th, 6th, and 7th. Let's take a look at our results. Here's the list of our top players. We have two players tied with 23 wins. The MMR difference between first and second is really small, so when the official results are published, let's see who gets to take first place. We have several players at 22 wins, and we have a lot of players with 21 wins. The difference between 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th are really close. So again, official results will determine who gets to take 9th and 10th place. In our top 20, we can see that Nature had a resurgence. 9 of the top 20 players played the Nature deck, 4 players played Deception, 3 players played Magic, 2 played War, and Light and Death had 1 player each in the top 20. In our top 10, War took first place, Nature took 2nd, 5th, 6th, 9th, and 10th. Deception took 3rd and 8th, and then Magic took 4th and 7th. The best War and Nature deck managed 23 wins, followed by the best Deception and Magic deck at 22 wins, and then the best Light and Death deck took 21 wins. For our deck types, we can see that 14 of the top 20 players played an aggro deck. Aggro decks are defined as decks that top out at 6 mana or less. We have 5 players that played a control deck, and 1 player played a mid-range deck. Let's look at our top decks in more details. Our best war deck had 23 wins. This one's an aggro war deck with the Slayer God Power. It has a typical low curve with 22 cards with 1 or 2 mana. Tops out at 6 mana with Aeneas. We don't usually see this card in aggro war, but this could be a new trend. We have Sites of the Harvest and Viking Longship for the 4 mana slot. And then we have 3 cards at the 3 mana slot with 1 Audis Valka's Herald and 2 copies of Raid Reveler. Our best nature deck finished with 23 wins. This one's an aggro nature deck with the Flourish God Power. Flourish was recently changed. It now costs 1 mana. For 1 mana, you can give one of your creatures +1 strength and regen +1 until the end of the turn. This is another aggro deck where 19 of the 30 cards are 1 or 2 cost. You can see the usual strong nature cards in the beginning here with Chiron, Marshwalker, Shield Bearer, Underbrush Boar, Black Jaguar. You have Finian the Fruit Bearer. Some new additions are the Revenant Lynx, Celestial Stag, Brazen Moose, and the Giant Pangolin. The Giant Pangolin was also recently adjusted. It is now a 6 mana 6/4 that has Blitz, Confuse, and Armor 2. Our best Deception deck managed 22 wins. This one's a controlled Deception deck with the Flip God Power. This controlled Deception deck focuses mostly on spells. We only have 10 creatures in the whole deck, so that's 20 cards that are spells. The deck consists mainly of removal and stall cards. You see Stoneskin Poison, Mugging, Sleep Dart, Elixir of the Panther, Exercise, Elixir of the Snake, Rapture Dance, A Toast to Peace. And then notable creatures are Durgar Priest for the heal, Demogorgon for stall and heals, Jason for endgame value, and 1 copy of the Anti-Magic Expert to gain control of your enemy creature. Our best Magic deck finished with 22 wins, and this one's an aggro Magic deck with the Mage Bolt God Power. 23 of the 30 cards are 1 or 2 mana cost. The deck tops out at 4 mana with Worm Breath. You complement cheap creatures with lots of spells and removals. You have Ancient Text as a removal spell, Star Shard Bolt, Tracking Bolt, Vow of Learning. You have strong creatures like the Shadow Scryer, Flying Carpet, Assistant Alchemist, Demetrios Playwright, Palace, Oni Spellsword. And we have the inclusion of the Palace's Wand, a relic that can give you card draw. Our best Death deck finished with 21 wins. This one's a controlled Death deck with the Blood Ritual God Power. This board wipe Death focuses on removal. You have Blight Bomb, Eva, Baroness of the Dead, Dust to Dust, Ray of Disintegration, Reap, Neferu, Apocalypse Now. And then you have your late game cards and value with Jason, Demogorgon, Hippocrates Monster, and Neferu's Kopesh. Our best light deck finished with 21 wins. This one's an aggro light deck with the Heal God Power. Some notable Divine Order cards include the Empyrean Pacifist, Inquisitor Informant. Radiant Dawn was recently changed. It is now a 3-mana spell that gives your creatures +1 strength and +2 health, and also wakes them up from sleep. Other Divine Order cards include Cadmos, Cern the Moderator, and you have your usual top end with Asterius, joined with Lysander. Taking a look at our meta snapshot for the weekend at the Mythic level, we can see 3 gods with 50% win rate, Deception having the highest win rate and a decent representation at 13%, Deception only having a losing matchup versus Magic. We have Nature also with a 51% win rate and a huge 32% popularity. Nature is strong against all the other gods and almost a 50% versus Deception. Magic also with a 50% win rate with a 14.6 representation, which is the 3rd most represented god. Magic has positive win rates over Deception, War, and Death. Light and War have about the same win rate at 49%, but War still has a big representation at 22%. War does have a positive win rate over Light and Death. And at the bottom, we have Death with the lowest win rate at 45% and the least representation at only 5%. Death struggles against all the gods and really struggles versus Deception, Magic, and Light. Taking a look at our updated scorecards for top 10 finishes, this includes last week's results. Last week's result include Wes coming in 1st place, and as you can see here, he jumps up 5 places. Another movement we see is Caution Fun coming in 3rd place last week and moving up 2 places. All right, so here's a list of our top players again. Congratulations on a great performance. Good luck on your prizes when you receive them this week.